13-0s in professional Valorant are extremely rare. I mean, these are the best players in the world facing off against each other. Surely teams can get one round, right? Well, not against Envy. This crew of basement-dwelling ranked addicts have made it into Ascension and have knocked out Brazil's best team. But how? All these guys do is spam Q comp and select their favorite agents, and that's it. Well, when you play like a bunch of stupid-ass monkeys, it drives everyone bananas! Wait, Envy aren't apes. Brazil just sucks.
But Teets, how can Envy 13-0 a pro team? They're just ranked players.
Here, Jimmy, play with Polybuzz and you can just ask Cypher yourself. Polybuzz unleashes your creativity by allowing you to create your own exclusive chatbot, including personality and voice. Meaning, they can be anyone you can imagine. There's over 20 million characters. Here, I created Cypher to distract Jimmy so I can finish this breakdown. Hey Cypher, why is your spy cam the best ability in Valorant?
Well, Teets, my signature is good for 3 main reasons. First, you can create devastating traps with your teammates. Use my cam as the trigger, and it will guarantee you kills, especially when it is hard to break. Second, you can use my spy cam to get round-winning information. Don't see anyone? Go stack C and get an instant round. And lastly, it's basically a poor man's Sova dart. Slap it on the wall and gain the same info that his arrow can get you, sometimes more.
That makes sense to me. And not only that, but Polybuzz also helps you improve your social skills as you learn to talk to various amounts of people. This is the ultimate social app. So with over 40 million downloads worldwide, Polybuzz is a must-have app that you can download with my link. Just be sure to enter my code TEETS26 in the app, and bam! Access to premium features. So if you want to support these breakdowns and unlock your creative potential with Polybuzz, go click my link down in the description. I've made about 100 videos on Envy by now, so if you don't know who they are, watch those. But something amusing that I'd like to point out is Kane's Clove over Brimstone pick. We literally never see this non-binary controller in professional play, but this old man on bind all the time. With no mid, there isn't as much defaulting on this map, so you don't really need more than 3 smokes. And that also means you normally want stronger and faster executes, which is Brim's whole identity. His smokes go down fast, his stim speeds everyone up, including Sky's dog, his orbital strike completely flushes out every major area on the map, and his molly is the best in the game. So then, why Clove? Well, Kane's is one of the best aimers on the planet, and Envy are prioritizing this extra HP and life over everything I just mentioned. I mean, smokes after you die are also pretty good, but just don't think about it too hard. Envy are just special. I just think it's funny because before this match, Kane played Brimstone and did really well. Envy won those matches. Regardless, they just want to either 1, take Stella off guard, or 2, Kane just got bored and complained until he could play his favorite ranked agent. Regardless, after watching this match, you'll realize that Envy don't need Brimstone. In their 3-2, the defense plan on fighting more up on B, more passive on A, while the offense are geared to end A in their 1-1-3. But if Envy are as good as people say they are, they'll realize that Stella can never go B. I'll explain why later. The game begins and the offense wastes no time by haunting and netting long, followed up with an eventual prowler. To the naked eye, Envy feel like a bulk of the offense are going B, so Kane gets about halfway there before his teammates tell him, hey, we don't see anyone. And with no one getting extra off this line, it's more likely to be A. Kane doubles back and is going to make it just in time to help Inspire hold lamps.
We're going to be clashing against each other really intensively.
Yeah, we're going to see some big beam clashes this game for sure. Both teams fighting for their lives, for that step into the playoffs, one of the last spots.
I'm done.
With you guys, let's triple fight. Take you short.
I'm holding you. We're short. I'm holding short. I'm holding.
How long for smoke?
Forever.
Okay.
Shower.
Sticking.
Last one short, guys.
Last short. I'm sticking, guys. Can we fight?
What's happening?
Egg take.
Is I gonna do everything? I was just running around whiffing every shot while X-killing everyone.
Whoa, what's that?
You know, for a bunch of streamers, their plan and punish were well thought out. This one-way and trip for lamps made it impossible for this comp to get through. Deadlock just threw a fidget spinner at it, but this mid-side cage and smoke completely discouraged Stella from completing their A-take. Envy's goal was to box Stella in this area, so when Inspire pre-fired to Sora because of his spy cam's dart, it made the offense feel like they were being crunched from spawn, lamps, and shower. Eventually the offense pinched the space with their fade who teleported from long, but we have to take A much faster, so someone could hang back to play from short or help Deadlock. I know we have double sentinels and pushing is hard and these smokes are scary, but you can't hesitate. Like Brim, why did you save your stim beacon? Just run through this smoke. Stella's save was a cluck, but it's a good example of why they can never go B.
Hookah, coming hookah.
Okay. I'm coming back to B. It's B.
They're smoke to come out.
Yep, they're doing weird out smokes.
I'm walled CT.
Two dead. 1v5. I'm with you.
Good comments, Pop.
Long.
That's a fun, hey, you know?
Now, I don't really know the schedule of my own videos, but I recently broke down G2's bind comp and how it ended their season. Do you see any similarities? They don't have Reyna? No! They can't get out of hookah. This place is the most dangerous to execute from, because to do so, you have to make yourself airborne and completely defenseless. Normally with Ray, she can solo this entire lane with her boombot, nade, and then satchel out. But how are you supposed to get out from here with this team comp? Throw another fidget spinner? Well, Stella decided to worm smoke their way out, which, on an eco, isn't the worst. I mean, you're giving yourself cover to jump into, and they close the distance. But not being able to jump out of hookah isn't the only problem with this comp. It's Stella's bonus round, and their plan is to spread their default across the map and play patiently, knowing that 1. Envy or envy, they'll probably peek, and 2. They're on a bonus, so an aggressive play is even more likely. But envy aren't. They're in a repeated 3-2 and have the same mission in mind as Pistol: fight and anchor. Seduzard begins the round by lobbing his haunt at long, which tags Exter, but Poppin's bird didn't squawk. Envy's Duelist knows no one's long, so he sticks around for a little while longer before Poppin dogs him through the teleporter. No one's there either, so he holds the line for a second, but Gui flashes him. Exter tucks away and hops out of the TP mid-teleport animation for info and is back in spawn. And now because the offense have been playing so passive, the odds of them going A or B are about 50-50. Where does Exter go? At first, he starts leaning A, but Stella are burning a lot of time. So Exter drops back into spawn and sends out his second gate crash with exactly 1 minute left. By using it at this time, Exter should be able to be at whichever site Stella execute. That is the best way to use this teleport. No matter where the offense go, they're running into a 3-stack. Now, what about Senatsu's gate crash? He put it in market while his team only has 1 duelist. And they're all heading long. Sid rips a Prowler to clear Octagon and his team follows up behind real quiet-like, but how are they all going to funnel through 1 choke point without a duelist?
B. I'm gonna peek this pop. It's B. It's B.
I'm mauling.
I'm flashing.
1 dead. 2 dead.
Flashing again.
Fade dead. Hookah TP.
Brimstone! If we're gonna 4-man force it through long and not send anyone through hookah, can we at least smoke it? And we need to be more mindful of how we're using our gate crashes. Zenatsu only had 1 and wasted it in the market. Since Yoru is our only duelist, we need to use his gate crashes to make space. Yeah, it's a bit risky and maybe unsafe, but we can't have Envy double flashing from sight and having 3 people hold 1 choke. Someone needs to create space and drag the defense's crosshairs. And now I think Stella's plan was to send their Vice up short to create some sort of noise to anchor a 3-stack on A. She'd then teleport and join her team in going B. But because Vice didn't get far enough to trigger any of Inspire's setup, she didn't do anything. You know who would have generated pressure? A Viper! Stella were forced to save, but had to pick their poison, or run into either Inspire's ridiculous setup that features a pseudo one-way cam and mile-long traps.
T-Sora trying to enable him. 4th time's the charm here for Exter, as the outlaw outside of the TP will finally find...
Or go B into Exter's outlaw.
They're hitting.
Mauling.
Both bingo.
Low, very low. 1 HP.
Nice, let's go.
It's hard to be guys who have thousands upon thousands of hours on their favorite one-trick agents. But before we jump into Stella's next full buy, they're going to take a timeout while we talk about 2 things. First being Viper. The reason why she's so good on this map is because she makes holding short a nightmare for pro teams. Every time her smokes go up and down, she threatens that someone could have lurked into that space. And this wall orb combo is hard to counter because her walls decay your HP. Then on defense, your team has smokes on every lane. But instead of that, we opted for Vice, who can flash the enemy if they're AFK. Yeah, this comp is primed to get 13-0'd, especially if it starts an attack. Okay, now 2. Hookah. If Stella want to go B, they need to bite the bullet and have someone go through this area. Maybe smoke your own drop? I don't know. But you can't keep sending everyone through long. Alright, their timeout's up. Let's see what neat game plan they have in store. In Stella's 1-1-3, it looks like they're defaulting showers, but for the first time this game, Extra's here. Instead of fighting B, Envy are also fighting showers in their 2-3. I wonder what kind of showers take Stella playing in their timeout.
All that time, and then when it actually comes down to the engagement, they're down time and down resources to try and push through.
Oh, they'll toss a little bit of a grab.
I have short.
Just keep shower, just keep it, just fucking keep it.
Really? You're just gonna run at Envy? I get it, you flash for your Fade's haunt, but it got shot. And your Deadlock's Gravnet? It just sits the offense down. It doesn't blind them. How are we this careless? I mean, why even break down the rest of the round? It's Brim and 2 Sentinels that have to get the spike planted against Envy. In case you really want to know, Vice eventually gets one in hookah before wrapping and dying to Sky and Long, and then Cainzera literally gets bored and runs down the rest of Stella. I'm sure their coach is really happy with how that round turned out. If you couldn't tell by now, Stella's comp really sucks at attacking. So why is Kane walking right at them?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting here. But with how Kane has finally lit up, how the...
This round was supposed to be a gimme for Envy. Look at Stella's buy. Instead, Cainzera has gifted the offensive Vandal, but at least the 3 stacks here to stop the offense's advance.
Too short. Yoru and Deadlock. Vi's unknown.
I get out. 2 out short.
This is a disaster for Envy. Extra was forced out, and the offense have upgrades. But I do think it's funny how for the first 5 rounds of this game, Stella were just waiting for something brain dead to happen, and as soon as they let their guard down, Cainzera strolls down short. And now Deadlock has walled Envy out from A, and Extra's teammates are scrambling over. Poppin heals his content creator to full as the offense backtracks to get the spike, and as soon as the Natsu starts the plant, the egg hops into his dimensional drift and clears out all of backside, bench, front sight, and starts flinging flashes into lamps before retreating into short, spotting the final attacker, and finally teleporting out. Envy has all the info.
Reset Extra as well. Envy.
We're short. Ulting, wait.
I have short smoke. I'm 1 way short. Shower is short. Short.
Give me 6. I'm playing anti.
I got it. Right side.
Yeah, there's a gap. Low.
Okay, surely with 3 strong ults online, Stella can win the first round, right? Well, they're slamming B, while Extra fights Showers again, ready to teleport into spawn to join Inspire and getting easy tripwire kills. And now that does mean that there's 3 on B. Are Stella's ults going to be enough? They start the rush by tossing the same Haunt on Long, and Zenitsu enters the Dimensional Drift, clearing all of Hookah, but spots Ion.
From Dzora has to be huge to be able to win this round.
It's found Ion. It seems like they're really trying to trap it. No, they'll go for the orbital strike on top of the grab net. That will be the first frag going Stella.
Stella did the easy part. Tesora grav netted Ion and SW fried him. I mean, not even G2 could do that. But now comes the hard part.
Way, and they've got to amp up the gas from here, but the stack is ready. Farm Envy, Poppin and Inspire have their cubbies and the refrags. Poppin from the dart and gets 3!
Yoru, man, I have to ask, are you lost? Where are you going? Like, why go into elbow? Realistically, when you're ulting B, you have 2 options. Help your long players pinch Octagon, or go flush out sight. What does going elbow accomplish? My ranked teammates do this all the time, and I bitch at them too. Before pushing spawn, you need to make sure sight is clear. Here, Fade couldn't get out, but why is she by herself? This rush is so piss poorly planned out. You don't need everyone jumping out of hookah. Put Brim long with Fade so she's not alone. Now it is a 3 versus 1. Envy got this.
Outline.
Yeah, doggy.
Freeze. I'm walled. Freeze.
I'm peeking. Low.
I'm 1 shot.
Wait, pop and tuck.
Hit 40. Left side.
Pops out, grants the intel, Eggster, the decay is fading, the chances are waning. Cedazort will re-up on intel, Haunt, and Eggster continues.
Nice,
let's Hunter.
go.
Chill,
Play with me, bro.
Yeah, their comp is defense sided, but they won't win without any rounds on attack. So Stella, take a timeout. All right, we might not have much, but Deadlock, you have a roll. How do you want to use it? I don't know, coach. What if they push us and I die before I even get the chance? This team is scary. Man, I really envy their confidence. Coming out of their timeout, the offense have a classic A Slamma-Jamma plan in their 3-2. Fade's first going to help Vice take Showers and double back to assist the rest of her team in pushing up short. But Envy are fighting here again, even though Stella are on a half buy. How many upgrades are these ranked monkeys going to drop the offense this time? The round begins and Envy immediately secures Showers behind Kane's smoke and inspires Cam and Deep Trip. These cancel out the attacker's Haunt, and Vice doesn't feel confident in pushing until the bulk of her team does first. But do they expect Kane to be close again?
Our side. Feels like they're A side. I hear nothing B, guys. Are you holding?
Break that. Alright, chill.
2 hookah. Or 2 short.
3, can you flash?
3 short, what a no. No, I TP'd. Short. Nice,
Oh my God.
Throw me gun.
After realizing that no one was contesting showers, Inspire ran out and popped his cage just in time to contain the offense in short. But because Kane's ult was pulling so much of the defense's attention, Extra flooded back out with his decoy alongside Inspire and stuffed the offense in short. Then Pylon Poppin, who just teleported and duked it on Vice, and Stella had zero chance of winning this round. When is Zenatsu going to realize that he's the only duelist on his team and needs to make space? Stop leaving your gatecrash and market. You know, last round was a half buy, so it wasn't like the worst thing to lose. Plus, Vice has her ult. Attacking should be way easier. The Stella are trying A again, but in a reverse 2-3, and are prioritizing getting their Steel Garden into showers. And lucky for them, Envy are back to fighting B. But to pretend like they aren't, Kane's era starts the round by immediately smoking showers, but he's blown back by the attacker's Flash Haunt combo. But this Gravnet misses again. Surely you can't botch this every round, right? Here's the lineup. It isn't that hard. Either way, the offense have showers, and Kane is forced to smoke the choke and back off. But it is like Envy to play in this bubble, so Yoru and Vice move up, and Zenatsu hops inside so Gooey can trade, but it's empty. And now Vice can ult.
Papa, let me get my skin.
And ulted showers.
I have a gap.
Vi's ulted. I'm playing you all.
Bro, what the f? Nice try.
Envy are trapped in lamps, and Stella's Steel Garden plus Deep Brim Smokes have given the offense the entire site. They get in position to crunch U-Haul, but Clove has a Shorty. Envy were ready for this ult.
Go back.
I'm gonna have it.
Two dead, I'm ulting.
Oh.
Shower. Triple.
Triple. Nice. This one.
That was just good awareness from Envy. Notice that Vice has her ult online? Well, buy a Shorty so you're ready for when the attackers run at you. I guess if you play enough ranked and against this ult all the time, you start to figure out natural counters. But dying like this has to be demoralizing. Even more so because they had to save next, and Envy still ran at them.
Dogging. Heal next. Two, one dogged. Heal and then we fight. Oh shit. Fight.
Heal.
Low, one left side.
I'm getting out.
Bet.
The offense eventually won A and punished Envy for poor spacing during the retake, evening the 3 versus 2 to a 1 versus 1.
Eagle. Doesn't have the gun.
Could full wrap you.
Sees to decay. Trap. Ion. Make it so much noise.
80.
Work for bomb.
Into the swing. And he's most of the damage there. He's playing with his heart.
80.
Even in such a dangerous position. Oh, and no. Ion, there's no way he's holding.
Yes! Let's go, Ion! My bad, bro. My fault.
And no matter how often Envy makes these brain dead pushes, Stella can just never capitalize. Maybe Envy are just bored. But because Stella can't beat these aggressive plays, they've decided to send it on an op and hope to punish Envy in their spread 2-1-1-1. And it looks like Extra's fighting long, but he has to be careful. This is a gun you don't want to peek into. The Barriers fall and Poppin whips a bird down long that goes caw. But more importantly, Extra saw Zenatsu's op. And not only is it dangerous to peek, but even jump spotting is a major risk at this level. So both players tuck into cover before Extra flashes for Poppin's dog down long and confirms that the offense is still there. Now, here is why Extra is the best Yoru in the world. He decides to walk into the TP and take his gatecrash into spawn. But this simple move has Stella on high alert. Did Extra leave long? Or was that just a decoy? And since Fade's been solo battling Inspire for shower since the beginning of the round, are the defense punishing her? It's Envy. Anything can happen. But by teleporting, the offense have to take the extra step by Vice flashing this cubby. No one's there. This flower has given Zenatsu the green light to slowly move forward, up long, checking every angle while his team and Gatecrash are headed A. I think the offense want him to get a kill on someone peeking for info to anchor the defense on B before teleporting back and executing A. But Fade's tired of waiting. She peeks into Cypher spy cam and sends a prowler through his trip, but Ion raises his wall. But then, well, that's it. The map's too quiet.
It's on the other side, and that could be deadly.
Gotta feel simultaneous here.
Once Poppin realizes that no one's trading that guy, he flashes long to confirm that no one's there. It's gotta be A.
Hey guys, it's fake.
Short.
Can you TP egg?
Yep. I'm crouched. Up short.
Flashing front sight.
Up showers. Fade showers.
Ulting.
Fade showers.
Playoff info. 2 front sight.
2.
Fight with me.
Yes, I'm fighting soon.
Ulting.
One dead.
Bang!
After Inspire realized an A hit was coming, he popped both cages, one to slow down the shower push and make this trip harder to break, and a hard to place one-way that's sometimes impossible to land. He almost caught like 3 people in it. But despite this punish, Stella again didn't have enough space. They didn't take lamps even though Kane was caught in this net, and Fade couldn't push through showers on her own because Poppin applied a ton of pressure by teleporting. I mean, does City's Sword smell like shit or something? How come he's always solo? Then Exter jumped out from heaven, swung the planter, and went into his ult. But like, if we're struggling to take lamps in showers, why are we smoking so deep on A? There is no way we're taking back sight. Not with this comp. Then Exter exited his dimensional drift from short once he realized his Sky and Viper were ready to triple pinch the remaining attackers. The scariest part of Envy is that when they start snowballing this hard, they just turn stupid. At least that's what it looks like. Envy has a 3-stack on A this round, so that's where they're fighting. And Stella are trying B again while Vice gathers info on short, controlling the speed at which your team should play. And they're gonna have to move quick, because as soon as the buy phase ends, Extra whips a blindside to allow Kinzera to peek past Gooey's shear. Normally, this wall is pretty broken as it forces the defense to either walk down all this way to bait it out, or just never threaten that they could be in this area. But Kane doesn't care. He's swinging for the fences while Exter holds his left, but this push is forcing the offense to move faster up long, even though Deadlock missed her grav net again.
Simple 2 rounds, there's still 1 to get onto the board, to at least give them a hope, but it's very quickly slipping away from them.
Poppin slowed the offense down with his bird, knowing that Exter was almost here and Inspire's on his way. Back on short, Gooey is waiting for a peek, but Kane isn't that stupid. To make sure he left, Gooey slaps his flash on the wall, pops it, but Kane takes that as a challenge.
The crowd, what is he gonna do after this game if they end up winning it?
Well, I guess he is that stupid. But this aggressiveness is hurting Stella into B, their worst sight, like a bunch of sheep. Now, despite having a 3.5 stack on B, on his way back to A, Poppin dogged long to stall the attackers even further, and Kane must have gotten bored because he takes a teleporter to meet the offense head on. His boogie bomb doesn't connect, and the offense don't dare to peek him. So Kane places a ruse to isolate the hookah players from anyone B short. But Poppin is tired of stalling.
That boy's fearless. Poppin, coming out with the bird.
Because Kinzera gave up all of A short, Poppin must have felt like someone had to make a play before the offense rotated. Or he was just bored too. But the offense have no idea that A's free and don't feel safe rotating back without the resources to clear out potential monkeys. So Vice scoops up the spike and starts to rejoin her Fade, who's finally cleared all of long.
Spawn. Looks. 80 on Fade. Hitting B. Brim hookah. Deadlock hookah. 2 hookah.
I'm reflooding in. I'm reflooding.
2 hookah, 1 long. 2 on me. 2 out. 2 out. Out. On site.
Nice. 13
Let's go!
The defense were here and decided to flood back in after Fate's Nightfall. Wow! Only if we had something like a big-ass wall Deadlock that was good at stopping a flood! Well, with 2 Sentinels and an agent that can be at either site with just a snap of his fingers, surely Stella have a better defense half, right? In their 3-2, they're predicting a B hit, even though Envy's comp suffers the same problem that they do. And yeah, the offense are going A. It makes sense without a raise, but just because you stack one side on bind, it doesn't mean that you can't quickly rotate to the other. The second half starts with Ion turning on his wall, and Zenatsu turning off his brain.
On these 2 new stars, Zenatsu and Tisora.
Dude, come on. Double Sentinel, insta-rotate comp. What don't you get? Now Deadlock's by herself. Stun Sensor, peeks, sees Inspire and grab nets, then calls her team.
Tisora has to sell his hand with the grab net into the trap.
Stella have stopped Inspire's shower stake. Just like last half, Envy won't be able to have a successful post plant with just a short. So Kinzera and then Exter start heading towards shower, while Poppin and Ion back out to re-wrap Stella from behind.
Let's make noise, bro.
Device is 1.
We're flanking, guys. We're flanking. Chill. 3 shower. 2 more. All dead. Triple. Come B now. We're gonna TP on. We're gonna.
Because Exter and Kinzera didn't fully commit to these showers duels right away, they bought enough time and distracted the defense enough for Ion and Poppin to backstab Stella. That leaves SW in a 1 versus 2, and the remaining Envy players are re-wrapping short with their wall. They flash through, tag Brimstone, and sprint into the teleporter and make their way into B. That gives SW 2 choices: flank through market or go through spawn. Teleporting would be too risky. But on his way over, and while Envy are planning, he places a smoke in such a way to suggest he's coming from spawn. In response, Envy swing through and clear the area. The smoke was a fake, so with haste, Poppin heads to elbow to form a crossfire.
Full tuck. He's went long.
Let Poppin take the long road up the elbow and
Playing time. Playing time.
Giving away the noise. Is it just Poppin? No.
Off.
Misses that headshot. SW was quick to Ion first. Could they get on the board here? Popping, waiting, wondering, leaving him to guess. SW will stick to half without taking a bit of damage, and he's just gonna use
Okay. Yeah! Let's go, baby!
Envy are by far one of the most entertaining teams to watch on the planet, but this Haven game was even funnier. Click here to watch that. You need to see this.